with producer Jeff Himes and director Harry Coyle, ready to start the fourth quarter at Riverfront Stadium with the Bengals leading the Chargers 27-10. Cincinnati with a two tight end alignment and Boomer Esiason back at quarterback after being shaken up on the last series. Quick gainer to Ickey Woods, and Woods to the 45-yard line. Dempsey Glenn covers him there, but another first down run for Woods, who is adding to that 100-yard day rushing. And with 3 games left, Woods needs to average 87 yards. Brooks 55 to have a pair of 1,000-yard rushers on the season. Woods with 119 already today. Brooks with 33 on 9 carries. Powerful ground game of the Bengals, the best in the NFL. Brooks, he'll lose yardage on that total of his as he is thrown back by Keith Browner. Let's review some of those scores now. New England still leading. The Giants having a field day against Phoenix. Philadelphia's ahead. Oh, Cleveland has taken the lead on Dallas now, 17-14 up at Cleveland. Buffalo still trailing. And Marino with a couple of touchdown passes in the second half. They're within 7 of the Colts. Ickey Woods got about 3 yards that time before he stopped by Lee Williams.
I think Ickey would have had more yardage that time, except he tripped up over someone. Cincinnati's at the line of scrimmage ready to go quickly on this third down play, but they didn't catch the Chargers this time, so they're going to call a normal play, even though they're at the line of scrimmage.
This is the attack mode of the Bengal offense. We got a good lesson yesterday from Sam Weiss in Bengali, the Bengals language. My favorite was the Weebies when they put the big guys in on the goal line. I said, well, why do you call it the Weebies? He said, Weebies scoring touchdowns. I love it. Esiason steps up in the pocket and throws complete. It'll be a Bengal first down to Collinsworth. Sam Seal wrapped all over him, but they've been picking on Seal a bit today, and that time a long gainer to Collinsworth. There's a flag down.
Well, I saw Leslie O'Neal rushing the passer that time, and it looked like he just nearly got tackled by Anthony Munoz. I got to believe they're going to call Munoz for the penalty.
Holding offense, number 78, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down, third down.
There's Sam Weiss, not happy with that mistake by his all-pro tackle, Anthony Munoz. He paid him one of the highest compliments I've ever heard a coach give an offensive lineman yesterday. He said he may be the best ever to play tackle in the NFL.
That's for sure. Well, his background certainly supports some of that, but we've had some great tackles, offensive tackles over the years. I played with one myself in Winston Hill, but I saw Leslie O'Neal jumping that time and just carrying on, and I saw him get held, so I just had a feeling the ref saw it too, and he did.
4 wide receivers in for the Bengals. 3rd and 17, nickel defense for the Chargers. They keep it on the ground to Brooks. Brooks takes it to the 44-yard line where he stopped way short of the first down. And the Bengals will have to punt. Hinkle and Bennett were ready for the run that time and stopped Brooks. And so Lee Johnson is on to punt. Now this will be the first punt of the game for Lee Johnson. Scott Fulhage, the normal punter for the Bengals, inactive this week. Johnson is the punter. Remember, Breach from field goal formation tried a couple of punts earlier in the game. Lionel James is deep for the Chargers, standing at his own 15-yard line. Johnson gets the punt away, and James takes it. Got some room. Tries to spin away, but can't at the 30-yard line. Downfield to make the tackle, Ed Brady for the Bengals. So the Chargers will have the football, trailing 27-10, 11.5 left in the game. 1,000 at Riverfront Stadium, enjoying a Bengal lead of 27-10 over the Chargers, who are playing now without their talented rookie receiver Anthony Miller, who has a deep thigh bruise. Chargers with the first down at their own 35. Going deep for Early. Can't quite get there. Single coverage from Lewis Billups. Early stretched out to try to get it as Malone threw the ball about 60 yards in the air.
Oh, he's got a strong arm. He's so close on this pass. Early just can't quite get his hands up and get to it. There's good pass protection, partially because of the play action fake. But here you see Early trying to adjust back to his outside. And he just can't quite get both of those hands on the ball at the same time.
2nd and 10. The ball actually at the 30-yard line of the Chargers. Ricky Dixon comes in at a safety for the Bengals. Quick pass complete to Early. Got 8 or 9 yards on the play before he was wrapped up by Ricky Dixon and Lewis Billups. Cleveland by 3 over the Cowboys. Buffalo has 5 points now. A safety and a field goal, but still trailing the Buccaneers. Third and 1 for the Chargers. Malone on the sneak. I believe he got enough. He just had to cross the 40. And as they unstack the bodies, I believe he'll have enough for the first down. Do you like the quarterback sneak?
Oh, I love the quarterback sneak. It was my best running play. Didn't have to put a lot of moves on people for that one. In fact, you know, quarterback sneak was the, oh my goodness. I'd be sneaking away from those bad boys. Aren't they beautiful, huh? I think those are just like bigger than kittens, right? They're not full-grown tigers yet.
I wouldn't want to test them anyway.
Oh, they're beautiful.
From the Cincinnati Zoo, the mascot of the Bengals. Chargers did get the first down. They're at their own 41. Malone threw it away. I don't know if it was intended for Bernstein or Redden. They were both in the neighborhood. The ball kind of split them. Jim Scal, meantime, was putting the pressure on Malone.
Well, there was all kinds of indecision that time from everyone except Jim Scal, the defensive end. He knew what he wanted to do, get back there on Malone. Scal, of course, he leads this Bengal group with sacks this year at 8.5, and he's not a big defensive end, but he's quick and he's strong. He has a lot of good agility and surprisingly plays the run very well.
Malone has hit 11 of 25 for 104 yards today. 1 touchdown, 2 picked off. This pass complete for a Charger first down. The catch made by Jamie Holland, and Malone may be hurt. Malone is strong, 6'4", 222.
That's a tough position, though, Tom. You know, 6'4", 222, 6'7", 255, 260. You're getting hit by big, strong players. Now, that time, David Grant weighs 277 pounds, the young gentleman that hit Mark Malone, and he packs a lot of power behind that 277 pounds. I don't care how big the quarterback is. Back there in that pocket with those defensive linemen and linebackers coming so fast and hard these days, they're going to hurt the quarterback eventually. The more times they keep hitting him, the better the quarterback's chances are of getting hurt.
There's Malone's production today. That pass, I think, was tipped at the line of scrimmage, intended for Bernstein, and not even close. It goes incomplete. Barker and Fulcher were right with Bernstein.
Malone's surprisingly getting some decent protection here from his line. His offensive line hasn't done a poor job except for those penalties earlier in the game. Rookie Richards at the top right of your screen does a pretty good job, number 65, on keeping Grant away from Malone that time. A good job by the rookie out of UCLA, Dave Richards.
2nd down and 10 for the Chargers. There's Cleveland upping its lead on Dallas. An important game for the Bengal fans. The Browns and the Oilers in a hot race in the AFC Central against the division-leading Bengals. That pass completes to Holland. It's his 5th catch of the day. It's another Charger first down. Billups covered him on the play with help from Eric Thomas. They'll call a timeout to move the sticks as the Chargers were trying their version of the hurry-up offense.
I like that. You know, they need another 17 points here to get back in the game with 9 minutes left to go. Malone is going to use as many plays as he can in as short a time as he can.
Billups, I think, a little injured, a little shaken up on the play, Joe. That's why they're stopping the clock, and it'll enable us to take a break, too, with the Bengals up 17.
You hear the thunder, thunder, the call.
If you're into high performance, you've got to get into one of these. The 89 Pontiac Bonneville. Bonneville is a sports sedan that moves like a ground-level flying machine. Big, fast, and powerful. Bonneville, test one soon.
We build excitement.
Some people see shaving as something you do for 3 minutes a day. At Braun, we see it as something you do for a lifetime. And we think you should make the best of it. The Braun Shaver, with its 3 shaving positions. Designed for those who choose to make a virtue out of necessity. Braun, the world's #1 selling foil shaver.
Want to take better pictures? Get the new Canon EOS 750, the only autofocus SLR with a flash like this and a system with computers and motors in every lens. Here, try it. Try the zoom. Easy, right? Well, that's EOS.
New Canon EOS 750. Photography, pure and simple. Buy EOS today with no money down, low monthly payments at participating Canon dealers.
He was a man of the streets. Now he's on the air.
Jack is there for people.
This is where radio gets exciting.
Talk to me right now.
Midnight Caller premieres Tuesday.
9 minutes, 9 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Bengals in command, and we've seen this very sophisticated Cincinnati offense, and we even saw the Chargers try a hurry-up version there. Is this the offense of the future in pro football?
It would like to be the offense of the future in pro football, but you need a team that's been working together, and you need a quarterback that's able to run the entire offense. Malone is capable, but the rest of the San Diego offense hasn't worked long enough to be that effective with the hurry-up offense.
Malone, pass is incomplete. Darren Flutie was the intended receiver. The ball came up a little short. Ray Horton was in defending as Billups was taken from the field after being injured. And Ray Horton is his replacement, 5'11", 190 pounds, 6 years out of Washington.
There's Big Scow, the defensive lineman who makes the sacks for the Bengals, but that time Dave Richards once again did a good job. The rookie out of UCLA is having a pretty good time pass blocking these good pass rushers.
Pretty good drive by the Chargers thus far. Let's see if Malone in the shotgun can keep it alive. Quarterback draw. Malone caught from behind and tackled at the 31-yard line by Leo Barker. That's an odd call.
Well, the quarterback draw is a good play. Malone might have left a little bit earlier, but Barker was right there. A little trivia on Barker. You know, he's the first Panamanian to play in the NFL. Leo Barker, who made the tackle.
Still lives in the Panama Canal Zone, as a matter of fact. Malone got away from the one man and then is taken down for the third sack of the day by the Cincinnati defense. Jim Scow, after Bussey had chased him out of the pocket, Scow got him down.
Well, you see, the pass offense is uncoordinated that time. No matter how many guys you keep in the block, if you only send one receiver out, the defense is always going to have one guy you can't block. On this last play, they blitzed, and Bussey got there because they couldn't block him, but San Diego did not have a shorter pass pattern on where they could get the ball to a receiver quickly enough. It was a poor offensive play.
Chargers going for it on fourth down. 4th and 7. Malone's pass complete to Holland. He's got a Charger first down. Eric Thomas made the tackle, but Holland, who has been the primary receiver for Malone with the injury to Miller, makes the reception, and the Chargers keep going.
You know, I like this kind of an offense. As a quarterback, I like it. I like to keep going, keep flowing, having things happening all the time. I just wouldn't want to be on this end of the score.
Malone had plenty of time. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Bernstein, the intended receiver. And Bernstein writhing on the ground and perhaps injured. Barney Bussey was defending him. There's our first final score. New England still in the playoff picture with a win over Seattle, 13-7 at Foxborough.
You know, in that later game, if the Raiders beat Denver now, Tom, we're going to be back to that three-way tie in the Western Division of the AFC.
Cleveland up 10 on the Cowboys now in the fourth, and Buffalo still trailing. San Francisco leading by 10. Indianapolis appears to be in control down in Miami. Green Bay finally scores. Here at Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati leading San Diego 27-10 with 7:06 left as they tend to Ron Bernstein. We'll take a break.
Play that Rod Bernstein gets injured on. When he stops to make the catch, watch his left leg, folks. His left leg, you see that left knee plant right there, and that appears to be where he injured himself right now.
6 defensive backs on the field for the Bengals as the Chargers have it 2nd and 10 at the Cincinnati 23. Incomplete, intended for Lionel James as the defensive rush chased Malone out of the pocket again. There's Rod Bernstein on the sideline for the Chargers as they're looking at that knee. Darrell Smith was defending James on the play for the Bengals.
But I don't know exactly what the injury is. They are looking at his legs. But when you're playing on this artificial surface, you don't slide on it as much. Whenever you plant the foot, you kind of stick into the ground. And when your foot sticks sometimes, you can twist a knee or an ankle very easily. That's the problem with this artificial turf as opposed to regular grass.
This is the 14th play of the drive for the Chargers. Mark Malone has hit 14 of 32 today. Darren Flutie dropped it, had it, and dropped it. So it'll be another 4th down coming up for San Diego, and Steve DeLine is on to try a field goal for Al Saunders' club.
Well, the reason is they're going to need 3 points anyway along the way. They're 17 points down. They need 2 touchdowns and a field goal. It's 4th and 10. He figures get the field goal now.
6:54 left. Steve DeLine with the kick. Hit the crossbar and bounced away. Not the crossbar, but the upright. And bounded away no good. Steve DeLine, who has replaced the injured Vince Abbott as the place kicker for the Chargers. 3 or 4 weeks ago, he was on his father's ranch in Colorado rustling cattle. Or not rustling them, but doing something. He said he practiced his kicks in the corral when he had a chance.
He's a pretty good kicker. He was with the Chargers for a while. Now, I wouldn't blame DeLine for this miss, even though he did hit the ball. There was a fumbled snap earlier. The snap was wide, and it wasn't set down just on time, and it had to throw DeLine off a little bit. The snap was wide, and the holder couldn't get a good grasp on it as early as he should have or would have liked to.
Boomer Esiason still at quarterback. The Bengals with a 1st down at their own 23. Ickey Woods got a yard or so before he was hit. Woods has about 120 yards rushing on the day, which is the 3rd best of his rookie career.
Here you see the snap, and you can see it's outside, and the ball's a little late getting set up. I couldn't really tell whether the ball was straight. Mojenko had a problem catching it because it was a little wide, so that missed field goal I wouldn't put entirely on DeLine's shoulders. And I wouldn't expect to see the Bengals throw any more passes either. I would like to see this Charger defense climb up on the line of scrimmage. I mean, they should have 10 guys up there expecting to run.
And they are playing it pretty tight here.
Oh, and here's the pass.
And they spin Boomer down for a loss. Back inside the Bengals 20-yard line, Joe Phillips will get credit for the sack on Esiason.
That surprises me. I know Boomer wants to do things, and Coach White doesn't want to get out of his offensive rhythm too much. But with a 17-point lead and 5 minutes and 55 seconds left now, why not keep running the ball at this team? Why not keep that clock going and let Cincinnati's defense play? I have no idea why they're even attempting a pass at this stage of the game.
Well, Well, they're going to have to now. It's 3rd and 15.
I wouldn't throw now.
Neither will Boomer. Ickey Woods, short of the first down. Rod Bernstein of the Chargers, by the way, has a sprained left knee and has been taken in for x-rays. He will not return. Lee Williams doing a good job for the Charger defense, gets the tackle. And Lee Johnson is in to kick. Here are the games remaining for those AFC Central Division contenders. Cincinnati with a big one at Houston next week and closing up with the Redskins.
They should try to block this punt. They need to try and get on the scoreboard somehow, and I think San Diego should go after the punt.
No rush. Johnson gets off a high kick. Lionel James calls for a fair catch. Backpedals and takes it at about the 32, 33-yard line.
Boy, I don't know. I just have to believe that I would have had to go after Lee Johnson that time, the punter number 11, with my punt block. I mean, here you're having a fair catch downfield. You're not giving your team a chance even for the turnover by not trying to block the punt.
Johnson got off a 45-yard one. Let's go back to those games remaining for the AFC Central Division teams. Houston plays tonight against Pittsburgh, and then they'll face Cincinnati at home on the road at Cleveland. Cleveland faces Miami in Miami, and then they wind up at home against the Oilers. Obviously, the issue still in doubt in the AFC Central with some big games remaining. Malone lost it, incomplete. Holland went upstairs to try to get it off his hand, incomplete. Barker putting the pressure on Malone, who sailed it downfield, incomplete. Quarterback is a touchy spot at the moment for the Chargers. They had Mark Vlasic, who was injured against the Rams, their young hope. Now they come back with Malone and Babe Laufenberg, the backup. An important decision coming up for the franchise about the quarterback of the future.
Well, I think right now, with the state that their team is in, with the offensive line they have, they should stick with these 3 quarterbacks for the time being, unless, of course, a great college quarterback is available in the draft. I think they should give these guys another chance, another look next season, rather than starting to make changes already. It's a new offense, and Malone doesn't get a lot of help. Either does Laufenberg or Vlasic. So Vlasic looked good, Tom, whenever he played, especially that last game against the Rams. And I'd like to see those 3 quarterbacks have another shot at the helm for the Chargers next season.
Malone's pass for Holland incomplete. Thomas Mayab knocked it away. It is 3rd and 10 for San Diego. Coach Al Saunders was saying yesterday that's probably the most important decision the franchise will make, affecting its future for years to come. The quarterback. Indianapolis a winner over Miami. Flag down. Malone's pass incomplete, intended for Early. Check the penalty marker. Like a hold against the Chargers. They were almost over 100 yards in penalties in the first half.
We're talking about that quarterback situation again, Tom. I really believe that they can't afford to give up draft choices.
Offense, number 61, going to the face. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
I don't think they should give up any draft choices to get a current quarterback, someone else that's leading the team right now, because San Diego is still a good year, 2 years away from being a contender.
Let's pause briefly now for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Bozhenko's punt taken by Hillary, who takes it to the 36-yard line. 27-10 the score with 4:09 left in the game. Cincinnati taking command in the first quarter and holding the Chargers at bay, 27-10 at the moment. The win by Cincinnati today assures them of a spot in the playoffs. Still hoping, of course, to win the AFC Central, but can do no worse than make it as a wild card with a victory today. Stay tuned for the second half of our doubleheader, the Broncos and the Raiders, coming up next here on NBC. Moshenko's punt covered 39 yards. Tillery got 8 on the return, and the Bengals have a first down at their own 36. Woods gets 9 yards to the 45-yard line. Cedric Figueroa, the rookie out of Notre Dame, tackled Woods, or he might have been off to the races.
Oh, it was a big game. You know, folks, we're looking at this huddle right now that Cincinnati uses. I never liked this kind of a huddle before, but in talking to Sam Weiss yesterday, it makes sense to me. Right now, Esiason's the only man that has his back to the defense, so he's the only one that has to adjust his right and left call when he calls a play. The other thing is Esiason's able to look at each player in the eye, the guy that he gives the key motion to, or the ball carrier, or the pass receiver, and by making that visual contact, he's sure that his receivers and motion people know what they're doing.
Woods with a first down and more. Takes it into Charger territory to the 46-yard line where Sam Seal stops him. What kind of huddle did you like best? One where you looked at the defense?
That's the thing, Tom. I wasn't a selfish quarterback, but I like the idea of the quarterback, me, being able to look across that line of scrimmage and see if somebody's hurt. Here's Icky limping a little bit coming off the field.
And also, the Bengals will make a change at quarterback as Boomer comes off and Turk Schonert will be the quarterback for the final 2 minutes, 47 seconds. Esiason with the jacket on after another sparkling effort. There's Schonert, the quarterback, 9 years out of Stanford. Stanley Wilson gets the call to the 40 of the Chargers, where he's hit by Ken Woodard.
The other thing about having your quarterback able to see the defense from the huddle. The quarterback can see what defensive changes are being made when they're shuffling people on and off the field. And for me, that's important. But Cincinnati, the way their system is, they run everything up there at the line of scrimmage, and that's kind of a situation, the changing of the defenses. So Boomer is facing them anyway.
We've got the 2-minute warning at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, with the Bengals leading the Chargers 27-10. To the game, Cincinnati 27-10 over the Chargers. The Bengals bidding for their 11th win of the season and to assure themselves of a spot in the playoffs. We asked Sam Weiss about the possibility of a letdown for his team today, and he had a great comment regarding that.
He said, I'm not worried about my boys. They smell the money now. And I promise you, folks, if anything fires up a football player, I don't think many things does it as much as the money does. Knowing that these guys will have the playoffs and possibly a home field advantage certainly was enough incentive for his boys to get ready for the Chargers.
Turk Schonert at quarterback, 2nd and 3 for the Bengals. Wilson and Jennings are the running backs. And this is Stanley Wilson. Didn't get much. Joe Phillips up front for the Chargers. Hit him shortly after he received the handoff. And a timeout taken here. Who took that timeout, Joe? The Chargers?
Chargers, they're still wanting this thing. They're not quitting.
Give me a break.
Hey, here's their report card, and you see him alone, 14 out of 36. That's not very good numbers any way you look at it. Spencer rushing, Spencer did a good job, but all that rushing was when they were way behind, too. And Holland, of course, with 6 receptions. Well, that's pretty good stats, but the bottom line is they're way behind in the score. They didn't get that running game going. 10 rushes for 44 yards for Spencer. They didn't get much else out of their running game. And that's what Coach Saunders emphasized that the Chargers would need to do.
The Bengals on the other side of the report card. Boomer 10 of 19, 178 yards and 2 scores. Icky Woods, a career best, 141 yards. He scored twice. Holman had 3 catches for 60 yards. Breach maybe a little shaky. Missed a 46-yard field goal and had 2 mediocre punts. Stanley Wilson. Chargers string the play out and make the hit. And, sorry to report, called another timeout. Carl Wilson, Cedric Figueroa, 2 of the youngsters on that Charger defense. hit the tackle. Wilson, 2 years out of LSU.
Their second timeout.
Figueroa, the rookie out of Notre Dame.
Timeout.
Sam Weiss and his opposition across the field, Al Saunders. Executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman. Coordinating producer of NBC Football, Ted Nathanson. Coordinating producer of NFL Live is John Filippelli. Today's game produced by Jeff Himes and directed by Harry Coyle. NFL Live produced by Tom Roy and Ricky Diamond and directed by Bucky Guntz. Our thanks to spotters Bill Schwarberg, who is in his 21st year with NBC, and Doug Kidd and Daniil Bendeski on stats. Thanks for all the help here at Riverfront today. 27-10, the Bengals leading. Who do you think's the best team in the AFC, Joe? Would you go for the Bengals?
I would definitely go for the Bengals, certainly after they beat Buffalo last week. And I don't know what the result is with Tampa Bay right now, but a good football team, a very good team, isn't supposed to be losing to the likes of Tampa Bay this late in the season.
I will point out that the Bengals lost to Kansas City, but that was a bit earlier. Schoner goes for the end zone. And the pass knocked away by Sam Seal at the last minute. Tim McGee had a couple of steps, but Seal recovered and knocked it away.
Kurt Schoner, he's got to be upset with himself. Had he thrown that ball out in front to McGee, he would have had a sure touchdown. He was wide open. Well, he wasn't wide open. Sam Seal closed quickly on the ball to knock it down and give Seal credit for closing, but Schoner threw a poor pass that time.
A minute 35 left as San Diego takes over on downs. And we can expect to see Malone try a couple of long passes. Bad snap. Malone recovers. Intercepted. Eric Thomas. Knocked out of bounds. He was looking for the touchdown, but he was finally ridden out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Eric Thomas with the interception. Third interception of the day for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes, it's fun to play defense when you have a 17-point lead. Here you see Eric Thomas break right in underneath an underthrown pass. Malone should have had the ball farther out in front for his receiver, but Thomas played it beautifully. Malone will come over here to knock him out of bounds now. There you go. Mark's not going to quit. He's not happy about that interception. He's trying to take this guy down.
There's a final score. Tampa Bay upsetting Buffalo 10-5 in the home field, looking better and better for the Cincinnati Bengals. They could be at home during the playoffs. They have a tough game, of course, coming up next week down at the Astrodome, where the Oilers have been so difficult to defeat. Schoner's on the rollout, scrambling. No, it was not Schoner, it was Norseth. Mike Norseth, who got the call to come into the game, had never played in a game. That was his first play from scrimmage when he got his feet wet. Cincinnati and Houston. The Oilers have taken 7 of the last 10 at the Astrodome. Bengals won big here at Riverfront in Week 8. Should be a great one next week. Mike Norseth, that quarterback, 2 years out of Kansas, as Sam Weiss clears his bench this afternoon. Clock approaching the half-minute mark. Stanley Wilson. About the 1-yard line before he's thrown back. Wilson wanted the touchdown, though the issue is not in doubt. And they won't run another play. Well, they've gone wild over the Cincinnati Bengals this year in the tri-state area of Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. And their team is headed for the playoffs. The Cincinnati Bengals with a victory today over the San Diego Chargers up their record to 11-3 and can do no worse than make it in as a wild card to the 1988 playoffs. Final score, Cincinnati 27, San Diego 10. We'll be back for final comments in just a moment.